Hi everyone. So I've decided to make some changes to a couple of my indoor terrariums. First off, I'm going to do the warm growing one that I've had for a while, which is a 30 by 30 terrarium. I've got various begonia, tropical species, a few orchids, some selaginella. So I've got this cocoa background from a reptile supplier, and I'm going to use this to replace some of the egg crate that had been in it previously. So there you go. So the back wall of this is now this cocoa matting. It's 30 by 30 out of the box. I've had to cut it down slightly, about centimetre off, sort of both sides. And the idea is I'm going to have selaginella and various other things growing up this. So you see this is my cryptanthus, which I mounted because I lost the orchid that was on that mount. Has gone very, very red because it's much closer to the light. I've got another one. It's just budded off the main one that's in here anyway. So I'm going to try having this mounted on this as well. I'm going to try growing various selaginella up it. And maybe even orchids, depending on what I can carve out and fit in. But I'm also trying to move things about in the terrarium. I do apologise, this is still in my office and it's a complete mess. So I've got a sort of a bulbophyllum. Is this bulbophyllum? No, this is an African orchid, horrendous, I think, that blasted annoyingly. Got my begonia, one of my begonias in the background. Selaginella serpens, which I've moved to the back. The idea is that hopefully it'll establish on the wall. I've got some Selaginella unguiata downstairs that I'm going to mount on as if I can as well. Cryptanthus, as I've said. The selaginella here, which is a poda, will stay where it is. Now this is the horrendous with the annoying root that won't stay where it is. Obviously the mounts are fixed, they're not going anywhere. But I've also got all this little bunch of stuff that I need to get back in. Poor looking little things. So that's my pavonina, one of my cuttings. So I'm going to try to shelter that under there. Put the cryptanthus over here, because I can get some light. Just too many begonia. The begonia, I love those, really nice. It's my begonia, another begonia. I'll put names for these up, so stop me remembering. It's growing a little bit, it's got some new growth on it. Did quite well. Got one mutant leaf, I don't know why that is. There. If I can put that orchid. See, this is squeeze the orchid in there. Yeah, there we go. And then the pavonina, the big pavonina down there. And pavonina cutting there. Yes, everything fits. I've got some more mounted orchids coming. So what I might do is move the Scaphocetalum. No, I can never remember. Shine orchis, I think, which I think has a bud on it. That didn't took some time to adapt for me, but it seems happier now. Put that there. And I've got a dendrobium coming. I'm going to put the camera down and make some more changes. Okay, so initially this is how I've put things. I've put that orchid against the back wall in the hope that perhaps the humidity and the sort of space behind it when this gets wet will help its roots establish a bit more and help it out a little bit, because it's growing really well, but as I say, the flower's blasted. I've made a slit in the matting with a craft knife to put the cryptanthus in. My orchids are all currently squeezed up on that wall. This wall will have the new orchids on it. And begonia, oh, I'm going to do a video on this. I haven't mentioned this yet, have I? Pavonina, the begonia doing quite well, seemingly. See, there's things like this bulbophyllum. potted this little bulbophyllum, divided it in two because it wasn't doing very well. It seems to be doing better now. I'll make some spikes on that, would be nice. One there. Bulbophyllum fascinator? Yeah. And this is the finished product. So obviously we've got the back wall, mounted bromeliad. There's a few dregs of Selaginella on there, and then that's the orchid that's not an orchid but similar. So the board isn't staying as wet as I'd quite like, but it should be wicking up from the bottom, so we'll see how it goes. So you can see there we've got a dendrobium. No, we haven't. We've got a begonia, solimutata, neoregilis, begonia bipinnividia, bromeliad. There's another, that's a pleurophthalid, there's a zoo something, I'll put the name up. Selaginella serpens, Selaginella erythropus, and these are my two new ones. So that's a dendrobium cuspidatum, and that's an orchid pumilo is the small one. That's the little orchid there, that's the dendrobium. The dendrobium actually has a bloom on it. Ooh, beautiful, really nice, I like that. And then, so we've got the begonia quercetinura. That's an orchid, I'll put the name up, can't remember. That's the Schoenorsis. Selaginella apoda, I think, at the back. And we've got the begonia pavonina, the larger one, and one of the cuttings. And then here we have this. Name will be put up in case I mispronounce it. But how cool is this? I've wanted one of these for ages. And I've had this a little while now. It's got new growth on it. Basically the seller, I got it from eBay, sent the plant was absolutely fine, but they really don't like being in the post. So mine looks a little bit ungainly. I lost some of the leaves off the side just because it got unhappy being posted, I think, but you can see that's new growth there. And the one I'm holding is new growth. How cool is that? Like something from an alien planet. So it's a little bit ungainly. Underneath I've taken the fern out of the planted tank because I think I'm going to tear down the planted tank entirely. So it's been repotted because it's burnt on the tips, not doing that well. Bulbophyllum, two of those, fascinator, got two of those. So that wasn't doing very well. I split it, repotted it, and it's doing much, much better. Begonia, name in the description, can't remember. With the flowers on it, which is very nice, very pretty. Zoom in on those, there we go. I've also repotted the Selaginella erythropus because that wasn't liking me that much either. So we'll see how that goes. So annoyingly that flowered and then blasted. I don't quite know what it wants from me, whether it wants more water, less water, I don't know. That begonia at the back, the solimutata, I really love that. I tried to grow it as a houseplant and it just went horribly brown and crispy. Repotted it, put it in the kitchen, which is more humid, obviously gets the steam from me cooking. That's annoying as well. There's a little puffer pedalum down there. Lost its bigger leaves, but it's still growing. I can't work it out. Anyway, see what it does. I'd like that to flower, it's really sweet. Yeah, so there you go. The new indoor tank. Fingers crossed for more growth and that the back wall plan works. So the planted tank, I might do a separate video on, is basically getting slowly torn down as I can find homes for stuff. The next project though is going to be the Highland tank in the garage, which is going to get a new base to increase humidity. fan, different fan placement, and a bunch of other stuff, and a clean. So hopefully we'll see how things are, and I'll start that maybe this weekend, and the video will be posted shortly. All right, thanks everyone, take care, bye now.